without that, we're going to be wasting efforts and resources on ECOWAS.
It's a tricky one. I'm looking at the inaugural speech of President Bio in his own round of chairmanship, and he says he's prioritizing 4 key areas, namely restoring constitutional order and deepening democracy, revitalizing regional security cooperation, unlocking economic integration, and building institutional credibility, which is where it would seem ECOWAS is having a bit of a challenge right now, given the fact that 3 of its members, are now former members. I understand that their flags went up there yesterday. Of course, the grace period and all the periods of grace given to them have now been exhausted, and they did not take advantage of it. Nonetheless, it does appear that somehow there is no way that the entire region can move forward without these 3 being included. So how do you think you're going to set about the task of building institutional credibility when we still have members who oftentimes do not want to follow the rules?
It's a very serious one, and I would use your word. This is a very tricky one for Marabio himself. Yes, he's an experienced leader. I do not think that his colleagues selected him out of the corps. Yes, it's a rotational thing, but he must also come to the party with some credentials. He's been in power all through his life. He was, what would you call those days, what they call the key leaders. He was part of Strasser's government. They were in their 20s when they took over power, and up to the time when he also overthrew the government of Strasser and became the leader. The civilian leadership is really negotiated from him, and he has also leveraged on that to go back into office. So here is his challenge. First and foremost, his credibility comes to play. For him to be effective, he has to be credible, and that would also call to his own political credentials. What are his political credentials at home? He's been challenged by the 2023 elections, which up to today does not have a universal acceptance. And the economy is also threatened. Yes, he's laying emphasis on human capital, he's laying emphasis on education, but beyond that, he also has to actually play out his leadership qualities that he needs to unlock. He's no longer a greenhorn in politics. He is, so to speak, a leader who should by now be leading by example. So here is the challenge for him. For you to be able to have and actually actualize those aspirational policies that he outlined, he has to actually hone his own credentials and also come to terms with the fact that until home is good enough for the people of Sierra Leone, he may not have the domestic support. He needs that, because in any case, your colleagues that you are rallying around, the policies that you want to drive, you have to drive them through your credentials. How do your colleagues view you? Do they see you as somebody who could be trusted? Are you one that could be trusted? That comes to play. But beyond that, I do not have any doubt that he would actually justify the confidence reposed in him, because if he fails, the question would be, yes, the 2 past leaders are of the old bloc, older states, and you had Nana Akufo, and he did very well. And President Tinubu has also done very well. 2 of them successively, they had their challenges. The challenge of what? First, it was Guinea, now then followed by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. All of that ethic is coming to play. And until you have a very decisive and purposeful attendance to that, ECOWAS will be weakened further. ECOWAS like I said, it needs to be purposeful. It needs to followed the path of progress, both from within, because much of the trouble that ECOWAS is having is because the majority of its people are uneducated and poor. And once you have that, that is actually, what you call it now, a recipe for the strife that we have. So it's a very serious leadership position that I am hopeful that he, because of his credential and because of who he is, he should be able to, play out successfully.
Well, you just mentioned a very interesting part, which is also, trying to rate President Tinubu's 2-year chairmanship period. How do you think